Here is your model Remington 582 long rifle. I don't see any videos online on how to actually clean this thing. So here is your video for the model 582. I don't see too many of them out here, but I really like this tube loader over here. This will hold 13 rounds, short rounds, and if you chamber one with the safety on, you can get 14 shots out of it. Speed loading this thing doesn't take too long, actually. I mean, a clip is nice if you want to go and go and go and go. You can do that with a 22, of course, because the rounds are very, very inexpensive. But if you're just target shooting, or just gee whiz, if you don't hit something with a long rifle in 14 shots, if you're trying to get something, well, you might as well turn it in, okay? Get yourself a handgun or something and tuck it underneath your belt. So this is how to field strip, disassemble the 582. Dog wants to come out and hang out with his old man. So let's go ahead and get started and get ourselves a screwdriver here. Prepared for class here. This screw here is pretty hardy. This is the only thing you have to take out of this thing to disassemble it. Before we hit that, you might want to take the bolt out. And the bolt comes out. Make sure you don't have any rounds in there. Look down inside there. Make sure your firearm is clear. And then what you do, and you have to be careful because this whole assembly will just drop out. You push this guy completely forward, your safety completely forward, and the bolt will come out. If you have the rifle pointed upwards, and you push that safety forward, this thing will drop on the ground. Now let's take a quick nickel tour of this bolt. I would not recommend taking this thing apart at all. Alright? You can if you get brave. There's a pin here that you can take out that will release this, and if you retract the firing pin mechanism here, it'll actually rotate and you can screw this out and you can disassemble this. Now there's really no need to. I haven't found a need to. This has been fired recently, so it's a little bit dirty. So that's perfect. We can clean this without taking it apart. Okay, here's your pincers to extract the shell. And the firing pin is actually right up here, and it pokes right out the bottom here. And it's actually moving around just a little bit there. So it's nice and oiled. So don't take this thing apart. There is YouTube videos out there on how to take this thing apart. If you do it very, very slowly and deliberately, and make sure that you don't have pieces and parts flying everywhere. We're going to set that aside. We're going to clean that here in a minute. So we have the disassembly here. So let's go ahead and take the screw out. Now what would you call it? The part that this screws into. There's a metal, I don't know, flange, I don't know, what would you call it? It wouldn't be a flange. Be careful, don't scratch your gun too, for crying out loud. Take your time. Whenever you do this, take your time. Don't be in a rush. Just screw out. This mechanism here will come off or out of this. I've seen that on the TDC Tactical has where he took apart the Remington 581, which has the clip mechanism right here. This has got the tube loader, which I actually prefer. But be very, very careful with this. Don't crank it down, don't hit it, take care of it. You do not need to take the trigger cover off. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't need to take this off. So all you have to do really is just carefully pull. The trigger mechanism is really what's going to hang this thing up. and just slowly and carefully work it out of the stock. There you go. Now, the individual I told you before, TDC Tactical, had a great video about taking this whole trigger assembly apart down here. Okay, this is the safety and the trigger assembly. It's a lot of tiny parts and pins in here. There's only like a couple of screws. The rest are pins that actually have to be taken out with an awl. I would not recommend taking this trigger apart at all because there's a lot of springs and things in here. If it goes flying across the room, good luck finding parts. So only take this apart if you absolutely need to. If you need to, take a look at the TDC Tactical for the Remington 581. It's the exact same assembly. Watch that video, it'll tell you how to take this apart. So now the next thing we can do, you don't necessarily have to. I did the time before I fired this rifle, I did get some rounds, didn't feed all the way through. This thing is, the rod here, the plunger, it just forces the rounds down. The rounds go in here and they force them sit ways down and down in here. And this has plenty of force to get the round into the chamber until it gets dirty. So I'm actually going to take this apart just for demonstration's sake. And I really don't like to do it because it's like bending a spoon here. Let's see if I can get some light here. There we go. Maybe a little bit better. There's a little guy here. When you see it, when you take yours apart, you'll see it. And all you have to do is just push that down and then take this apart very carefully, very deliberately. Okay, this guy here has a notch in it on one side. I find that goes towards the stock, the rear of the rifle. But I don't know, this might have been taken apart at some point in time. That's how I took it apart, that's how I put it back together. I haven't had any problems. So there's that part. And then what's really nice is this piece just rotates up. That holds all together like that. It's great engineering. Remington did a really great job with this rifle. It's not the best at extracting rounds, but it's no slouch. It's accurate as hell. So we have the barrel out of the rifle, out of the stock, and we have a nice tray to put our parts in. Found the Barkus Berry wireless guitar pickup box that I use for all my parts. It's really kind of neat because it has two notches and I can put the barrel on. So now what we want to do is take care of the barrel. And I don't know, I can't be up here at the same time. I'll see if you can see that. It's quite dirty. Get yourself a flashlight. I'm actually going to take a gander here. Put the light up here on the ceiling. And it's not that bad, really. But you really want to at least clean the barrel and just do a minor little touch-up every time you fire the rifle. Now, Jim Green at Down East Gunworks, this is an aluminum plunger. He recommended not using these. And I've only cleaned this gun just a few times, and I'm inclined to agree with him. Aluminum or brass, you run it up and down this barrel, he said it's going to impact your accuracy of your rifle. So this has only been up and down this barrel maybe 15 times, maybe 20. So I'm inclined to get a better one of these. They can't be all that expensive. I don't know exactly what it is now. This is what I do. And the barrel and the rifling, the spiral rifling down through here, you don't want to really scratch that up or anything. You want to have it nice and crisp as much as possible. Now, I do not take my plunger here, put the cleaner on it, and shove it down into where the action is, where the receiver is here. I actually will feed it down first. And then I will carefully, as Mr. Green said, try not to damage this at all, very easily, very carefully. And we're and then you can pull this down so it'll go straight all the way through, okay? Now I'll go ahead and take my 22 caliber cleaning item here, since I don't have to put brass brushes down there and things. Don't necessarily need to do that because it's not all that dirty. I'm going to take my some Hops gun cleaner here, or Hoppies, I don't know. I've never heard it pronounced. I've had this forever, but this rifle was missing a front sight forever and ever and ever. So be very, very, very careful of the front sight on this rifle. You break that thing off of a Remington 800 series, 500 series rifle, you will hate life because these are impossible to find. I found finally 5 on eBay. I bought 2. I should have bought all 5. I keep a spare one there. So if you break that, you need to buy them. Even if you have this rifle and you haven't broken it, you find one, buy it. So there we go. We've got the sponge down there. And I'm just going to pull it straight through very carefully, very deliberately. I'm going to run into the wall here. And nice, just like that. So now you can just look up. I'm looking up at the light here just to make sure it's nice and clean, and it really is. So I really don't feel compelled to do too much with that, especially with one. You can run it down 2 or 3. I take it apart, push it down, put it back together again, and pull it up. You can do it 2 or 3 times. Like I said, this rifle was not all that dirty. So I'm just going to do that once. So now the receiver here is munged up pretty good, and you can give me feedback on this if you want. I would take this out, and I'm actually going to take some canned air. All right, and please post feedback if you guys are screaming and yelling. But one thing I will say is make sure that you don't take the gunpowder and the brass and all this stuff that's in here and blow it like down into your trigger mechanism. Don't blow it into any corners or crevices. Make sure you very deliberately blow it out of the bolt receiver here. Being careful not to blow it down inside of the sear here. Okay. I might have just gotten a little bit of that up inside of the barrel, so I think I'm going to just take one of the cleaning pads here. I'm actually going to push that down since it's down at that end. I don't want to draw all that crap up. So take a plastic one, nice and soft, 22 caliber. Just take this one. Since there's a little bit of gunpowder down here, I think I will just kind of push it through that way, because I already know that the barrel is completely clean. We've already inspected it. It's good to go. Very carefully. I'm just going to draw this a little bit down here and carefully draw it back. She came out kind of grungy there. So you can run that back and forth as much as you want. So, gee whiz, we got a lot of it done here. So, take a paper towel, hit gun cleaner as much as I can. Inside here, this bolt receiver is kind of hard to reach. Just hit what I can here. Nice amount of oil. And I found I kind of put a lot of oil on this thing last time I cleaned it, because you know, it just wasn't throwing shells. It wasn't ejecting shells very well. They get jammed up inside of here pretty good. It's one of the, I think, flaws of this particular rifle. It never really ejected shells very well. But when your shells get caught up inside of the ejection port here, see that sight is just dovetailed in, and if you hit this, bang, 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 your sight will work itself out. And if you're out in the field or woods or something, you'll draw up your rifle to go fire it, and you'll have no front sight. And believe me, you will not be able to hit anything without the front sight there. I used a stick when I lost it before. It's very loose. You can move this back and forth, but once you sight it in, mine's off about 1.5 millimeters to the right for my eye. And if you can see over here, this is the first set. This is at 50 meters. And this is 14 rounds. And we have 11 of them in the bullseye. That's at 50 meters or 50 yards. That's what this rifle can do with a properly trained eye. Military was really good at honing my skills. My brother was awesome at teaching me how to fire this thing and fire it accurately. So take it from a marksman from the military. I know what I'm talking about. All right, so this in here, you see there's a gap down in here. There's really nothing to blow anything into. So I just give that a little spray. It's really not that much on here. You don't want to spray if you don't have to. If it ain't broke, don't freaking fix it, okay? For God's sakes, don't freaking fix it if it ain't broke. Especially with rifles, man. Don't take them apart if you don't have to take them apart. Or, unless you have to make a YouTube video. So, here we go. You can put some gun cleaner down in here. Clean this off a little bit. There. I'd like suggestions on what I can use to really get up in here and clean out the bolt receiver here. I just used one of these big sponges here that came with the Hops cleaning kit. I just kind of hit it around inside of here. Take a cleaning pad here and go and get whatever I couldn't get. I've gotten gun oil on the stock. It's been there for a decade. I wouldn't saturate or anything, but you get a little gun oil on this thing. I think it actually isn't too bad for this. Again, feedback is welcome. Let's get a cleaning pad. Let's get, I'm not putting all my parts back in my little box here. On my large rod here. Long rifle rod. Thread this down here. Not so shaky today. I'm medicated. Trust me. Today is not one of my shaky days. That's good. It's important to be medicated. It's a joke, of course. Go ahead and try to get, just kind of wipe this down a little bit. Clean cloth. Doesn't need too much. Alright, well, and I'm going to hit this a little more. Pulling away from the little nooks and crannies in here. Alright, now we have a clean rifle. Now on this model, I have been using a lot of gun oil. I've been oiling up the bolt real well. I hit down inside of here. A lot of this oil will come out as the mechanism works back and forth. Anything that I can get some oil into, oil the firing pin. Down in here, extractors. Just around this mechanism here, because it rotates. You can see where it rotates. See where it rotates. Set that aside on my paper towel. Okay, just anything here. You can oil your firing mechanisms, trigger, down inside of your sear. Anything you can get up behind your safety, back and forth a little bit. Anything that pivots, anything you want. Tin Man never had too much oil, right? So we have that. That guy's tighty. So let's go ahead and put the stock back on this puppy. No offense, dog. Might want to put the tube loader back on, huh? This is very easy. Again, very deliberately. You can see where this goes up against the barrel. Right here. Of course, get my parts out of my parts bucket here. And then all you have to do here is simply take a very small screwdriver. This guy. See, what you got to do is just pry it upward. Remember, take care of your sights. Take care of your rifle when you're swinging this around. Just pull it up a little bit. And that's all you have to do. And I wouldn't recommend doing that too much, but I've only done it this time for demonstration purposes. If you get rounds jammed up in here, you probably want to take that off. Clean it out real good. Carefully. Just use your trigger as your guide. You can see that dovetailed round barrel, round receiver. Goes right up inside of your stock. Don't force anything because you know what, you went the bigger, they're a lot easier last time. I didn't have to force that at all, did I? Take your screw, this puppy back on there, look around, make sure we didn't forget anything. Let's get my screwdriver. Again, watching out for where this screw seats into. You don't want to crank this down, you just want to snug it. Unless you're dealing with tires and lug wrenches, you don't have to crank this thing down like Superman. Just give it a quarter turn. It's fine. You shouldn't be bouncing this thing around like crazy anyway where the thing has to come out. Check to see this is clean. It really is. And like I said, I cleaned it really well last time I did that. I put a little bit of oil in here just so it slides nice and easy. Just like that. Goes back together again. It's a beautiful, beautiful rifle. I love this Parker Sperry little guy. It has these little notches that the barrel sits into. It's really nice. And then to push the bolt back in that's how it's flat. That goes towards the bottom. And put the bolt to the side and kind of feed it in like this. It may take a couple tries. There's a knack to it. When you get it in, hopefully it'll go the first time for me. Push your safety forward. There it goes, just like that. It's beautiful. Get down inside of there. Let me turn the light on for you here. It works back and forth nice and beautifully. So, comments are appreciated. This is a beautiful 1970s vintage Remington 582 tube loader, bolt action 22 long rifle, accurate as hell. And post any comments, anything you would like to add, any corrections. I sure do appreciate some constructive and positive feedback, you know. And as Red Green always says, I'll close the way I always do. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.